Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Vice President of International Marketplaces and Retail at Amazon, Eric Broussard.
Good morning. I'm very excited to be here today and talk a little bit about what Amazon's been doing to help brands, retailers, small businesses to sell across the world. Way back when, in 1995, we came out with our first press release, October 4th, 1995. This release was quite interesting. It talked about some of our customers and what happened in the first 4 weeks since Amazon had launched at the time. And it talks about the fact that customers orders poured in from 45 countries across the world. You have to remember, it's 1995. We barely got electricity in Seattle. These are smart customers. This was the start of an unbelievable trend of contributing to building a global business and promoting exports and global selling for partners and suppliers. But let's step back a little bit. Half of the items sold on Amazon worldwide today are actually sold by third-party sellers on our platform. So when you think about Amazon as a retailer, it's now only half of the units purchased by our customers. This has created enormous opportunity in the US and abroad for brands like yours, for small businesses, for entrepreneurs to build their businesses. Fulfillment by Amazon, the service that we provide and that enables our small, medium-sized, and large sellers to rely on Amazon to fulfill orders, shipped billions of items in 2017. This is a global program. And we'll come back to that, and we'll transform, and is transforming, the way one is able to address international marketplaces. A key component of the Amazon strategy worldwide has been our Prime program. The ability for customers, by paying a one-time subscription, to get free shipping, unlimited free shipping, on a very wide array of products. Part of the magic for partners is by adopting Fulfillment by Amazon, products become available on the Prime program, possibly worldwide. And that's really what has contributed to getting the flywheel to spin faster and faster for both our customers and our partners, leveraging the Prime program we've been investing so much across the different countries in which we operate. As I said earlier, from day one, customers demonstrated that offering a large array of products was very important, no matter where they're located worldwide. And in fact, to this day, exports are still growing at 30% year-over-year on a global basis. It's a very significant aspect of enabling our partners and customers who might be listing products in the US to enable systematically and automatically for these products to be shipped worldwide. But exporting is only the beginning. In fact, at Amazon, we talk a lot about starting with the customer and working backward, ensuring that the customer experience is as best as it can be. And clearly, exporting is not such a great customer experience. As you can see here, a customer in Germany might be shopping on Amazon.com in the US in English. The customer will be paying in US dollars. The product will be shipped from the US into Germany, probably taking a few days. Importing the products into Germany might be complex for the customer and probably not lead to the best possible customer experience. That's the reason why we developed, invested, and grew global selling. Global selling is really the answer to how do you shop locally to buy global products. In this example, the US sellers ship their products ahead of time to one of our fulfillment centers in Europe. Doesn't need to be in Germany. And in fact, we've got a program that really enables us to place the inventory across the region based on the demand of the customers. So the sellers ship, inbound their products into Germany or into the EU, so that the customer can now shop on the German website, in German, benefiting from the German Prime program, paying in euros, and getting free next-day delivery. In some of the countries, in Japan, for example, a customer in Tokyo who is a Prime customer will get free same-day delivery on that product that might have been inbounded by a US seller into the country. That approach dramatically transforms the propensity of our customers, our local customers, to buy products from our global sellers. And in fact, Amazon global selling in 2017 grew by more than 50% year over year. It's a tremendous opportunity as we've expanded across a number of countries and regions. It's a tremendous opportunity because as a partner, as a seller, you get access to these different countries and you have control over your brand. You have control over the products you will be selecting. And you can pick and choose the countries in which you want to play. This is a tremendously big opportunity. We're now in 13 different global marketplaces with over 300 million customers worldwide. If you look at the traffic we get in each of the regions, we're typically in the top websites in each of these countries or regions, making it very significant the number of customers, the number of potential customers you're able to market your products to. How complicated is this? We've made it simple because we built the infrastructure needed for Amazon to manage the businesses we had in these countries end to end. Since we've launched in the UK and Germany, for example, since 1998, we've made tremendous investments in Europe to build an infrastructure, for example, 31 fulfillment centers across Europe in 7 countries. 175 fulfillment centers across the world, and 15 in Japan. By opening up that infrastructure to all our partners and sellers, you benefit on a pay-as-you-go basis from all the investments we've made across all the 13 marketplaces in which we are. Whether it's in India, in Japan, or in Europe, we provide customer service in local languages. We can translate detail pages so that your products are properly presented to customers. In India, for example, a customer buying a product fulfilled by Amazon will be able to pay cash on delivery. All these services, all these products are available to all our global sellers so that they do not need to make these very important investments that we've been making over the years. It translates, as I said, into a very high quality customer experience, which is conducive to building sales, building brands, and ensuring that you can present your brand message to your customers in a way that's completely controlled by your brand appearance. It is simple from the perspective of really, when it's all said and done, the steps one has to go through to launch a new product in a new market are very straightforward. The product is shipped to our fulfillment centers in Europe, for example, or in Japan. We receive the product. As soon as the product is received into our fulfillment center, that product is available for customers to buy anywhere in that country, possibly exported to other countries. The customer buys the product. The entire logistics of delivering the product to the customer is handled by Amazon. As I said, maybe free same-day delivery in Tokyo, free same-day delivery in London, instantly. Again, no fixed cost, marginal investments needed on the part of our partners. Should the customer have a question, the customer can go directly to the Amazon's customer service center in the local language in Japanese in Japan, so that the product process and the customer return process, if there is a return, is completely handled thanks to the logistic and the environment that was built by Amazon. It's been a tremendous journey, and many of our partners have been incredibly successful in building businesses from scratch across the world. But this is me talking. It's always much more interesting and potentially relevant to really listen to the voice of our sellers. So please help me welcoming Carrie McGuinness from Exploding Kittens and Gareth James from Philips. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's start with you, Carly. Maybe not everyone knows Exploding Kitchen. Can you briefly tell us a little bit about the company, how it got started, and what the company is all about?
So for those who do not know, Exploding Kittens is a physical card game. It's also a mobile app, but it started as a physical card game. And myself and Elan Lee, who is the game designer, were working at Microsoft at the time. And we were playtesting this game on a poker deck with some Sharpies written on it called Bomb Squad. It was a lot of fun. And a couple months later, Elan went on a vacation and met Matt Inman. Matt Inman is also known as the Oatmeal, for those who do not know. The Oatmeal is a very popular webcomic. He's a two-time Eisner Award winner. He has a New York best-selling book called How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You. And he loved the game. He'd always wanted to make a game, but he said that it had no soul. He's like, the name Bob Squad is just boring, and you need some kind of personality and character. So he said, I think we should call it Exploding Kittens, because cats and the internet are an unbeatable combination, basically. And he had learned this from 10 years of making webcomics. So the two of them came together. They thought it'd be a really fun little weekend project to put the game on Kickstarter. And for those who do not know, Kickstarter is a massive crowdfunding platform. They did a simple calculation, and they determined that they needed about $10,000 as their goal to make about 500 decks of cards. They set a 30-day campaign window. So the campaign launched, and within the first 10 minutes, the campaign was 100% funded. Within the first hour, it was 1,000% funded. Within the first 7 hours, it was at $1 million. And by day, right after 24 hours, it was at 2 million, and by day 3, it was at 3 million. So at this point, it was a huge success. We stopped focusing, though, at that point on the money and started focusing on raising the crowd portion of crowdfunding. We played games with our audience, we interacted with them, we celebrated them, we asked them to post videos and pictures of our different characters. Taco Cat was one of them. People made us plush toys and balloon animals, Legos. Somebody even got a real tattoo of one of our characters on their arm, which was very disturbing. But thank you for supporting us. It just went on from there. So by the end of that 30-day campaign, we had raised just under $9 million. And to this date, it is the most backed Kickstarter in history with just over 219,000 backers. So that was the beginning.
All right, so you've got the funding, presumably a product. Where and how does Amazon come in?
So right around the time that we were shipping out the Kickstarter backer orders, we were immediately talking to Amazon FBA in the US because we wanted Amazon to be the platform that built our brand. We wanted to leverage the ease and the seamlessness it takes to scale a product and a brand. So we hooked up with the US team. They helped us do everything from forecast how much inventory we needed for Q4. We had no idea what we were going to have to print. They helped us send it to one location. They helped us figure out what videos were going to work, what images were going to work, how to format our detail pages so that we were successful. We launched the game on August 24th of 2015, and the first day we sold 24,000 units. Within the first month, we were at a little over $1 million worth of inventory had been sold.
Okay, so that's the US. A question I get a lot is, when should a company start thinking about international?
Sure.
And it sounds like you started moving toward an international expansion very quickly. How did that happen?
So we started thinking about international day one. I mean, immediately, as soon as we started talking to the US team, we knew that the product was going to be a success in English. So we right away started setting up our accounts in the EU. We had everything sent into the UK fulfillment center, and we took advantage of this really, really simple program that you guys have called the Pan-EU program, where you send everything to one FC and Amazon transships it across all of Europe. They figure out how much is needed in each place based on demand, and it was a really easy way for us to test out those markets.
That's fantastic. Gareth, so Philips is clearly a very well-known global brand. What's your advice, or how do you think an international brand should think about international marketplaces, and how did Amazon contribute?
Well, I think it's all about the shopper to start with, and building that relationship with them. I think from an Amazon perspective, and I think most brands would agree, that they give us a great opportunity to tell the brand story through the product detail pages, and we get valuable insight from the ratings and reviews, which come back to us to be able to enhance that shopper experience.
I understand Philips worked with Amazon in India. Can you tell us a little bit how you thought about India and the opportunity? Was it a new product category? Was it a new market? What role did we play, and how did we help?
Yeah, so we work with Amazon at a global level, but also at a local level. The India story is quite interesting, actually, and it's a bit like it's good to talk about it here, right? It's about gambling a little bit. So the thing I like about Amazon, and maybe it's different to most buyer-seller relationships, is that really you can do lots of test and learns, right? Hundreds of test and learns, small bits of money, small ideas which could create massive gains. And the India example is one of those. Basically what we found was one of our product categories was doing exceptionally well in all of the different marketplaces around the world, and the category didn't exist at all in India. So getting our heads together around Seattle, we put together a plan where Amazon leaned in and helped us really quickly scope the size of a marketplace. They were able to give us information about how the shoppers are shopping on other marketplaces and bringing that product themselves into India. So it was a clear demand. And it took an awful lot of time away from the traditional quant and qual research required to be able to launch a product into a new market. Amazon also helped because we were able to copy and paste or port all of the material which are maybe on the other markets' websites and be able to post it on the Indian website, which again speeded up the process and enabled us to really test and learn whether that product category would be successful or not in India.
Carly, so it sounds like you had a very, very good experience growing very quickly. What was surprising, and what might not have worked as well as you would have hoped for it to work?
So we did very well in English, we did really well in the UK, we did very well in Germany. Within like the first 3 weeks of being on the European platforms, we were around #1 as a bestseller in the toys and games category, but we didn't succeed as well in France, Italy, and Spain. But we did well enough that it was worth it to figure out what should we do next. So instead of continuing to sell the English games, we localized. We translated into all languages on the platform, including some additionals like Polish, and it's been a tremendous success ever since.
Gareth, any insight you've had of like product relationship between a product and the behavior of customers? You mentioned to me an example a few days ago about what you did in China that you can maybe summarize for the audience.
Yeah, again, it's going back to understanding your shopper and what your shopper wants. And in China, what we found was the correlation between one of our products categories in China over-indexed hugely with Kindle, the Amazon electronic book reader. And what we were able to do effectively is picking up upon this sort of shopper insight. We were able to work together with Amazon to drive traffic between both of these products, but also to connect these products in a virtual bundle as well as a physical bundle to fulfill those shopper needs.
So Carly, we're almost out of time. Maybe to conclude, any advice you would give to a brand, maybe a small brand, a big brand, as they look at international, how to think about it?
I would say take risks, fail fast, learn from your mistakes, don't repeat them, and do it from the beginning, because the faster you learn, the faster you're going to succeed.
Very good. Thank you very much.